G'day all, Wayne here, Wombat Models. Just wanted to give you an update on my build of the ASLAV-PC Phase III. So what I have been doing is going through, and I found the build notes by Jason Miller, the man behind Arms Corps Models and former trooper from 2nd 14th Light Horse Regiment, Queensland Mounted Infantry, if I'm correct. If not, please Jason, feel free to correct me. So he posted a build review of the kit over on Armorama. I will put a link to the build review in the description below, but there's a lot of notes there about inaccuracies and things that need to be corrected. So as you can see in the instructions, I've gone through and made a lot of notes, mostly with posties, so I can get rid of them. But just an update, so I've made it through steps 1 through 5, so doing most of the lower hull. As you can see, lower hull's done up. Just leaving the props and the guards and the rudders off for the moment. We'll come back and add the trim vane and the towing hooks, and I've still got a bit of PE to go in there for the lugs for raising and lowering the suspension arms when you're doing a tyre change. I have got the wheels on there. I've used the spare wheels that aren't the current ASLAV. As you can see, they're just press fit, so I just use that just to line all the suspension up. One thing of note, if you're building it, where the suspension uprights for the front fit through, you can leave them unglued, and it gives you a little bit of slack so you can move up and down when you're fitting the shock absorbers. Once that's all done, then you can glue it up. So I've still got a couple of bits from sprue A, so I've just got the steering arms. As I said, rudders and props are being left aside for the moment. So what I will be doing next is attaching the upper and lower hull, as well as the rear wall components from sprue C. It's as per suggestions by Jason's build review. We'll make it easier to line everything up and clamp it in position. And there will be a bit of work need to be done in certain areas just where the gaps don't quite close up. But I'll get that done, and then we can get all that clamped up and held together. It'll be a little bit easier than having all the brackets and everything on there. But that will be the next stage of the build. Okay, so as you can see, I've attached the upper and lower hull as per suggestions, just to make it a little bit easier to get it all together. And I've put the rear panel in place, so at the moment it's all trussed up, just trying to dry up. I also noticed that the rear suspension mounts on the left hand side were both a little bit out of whack, so I've had to soak them with extra thin just to try and get them to realign. So that's all good. We'll be adding the steering arms once I get all the rubber bands off, and then I'll start adding all the other little components, so the PE that needs to go into the sides, various other bits and pieces. I'll still leave the rudders and the guard props and the guards off, but I'll start fitting some more of the underside little fittings, so towing eyes and such, and then trim vane, and then we'll fit all the upper body. So just on the trim vane, I've decided not making the holes in the trim vane because I will be leaving the ECM boxes in step 7 off. Those boxes are only used when vehicles in Iraq. Okay, so in summary, sections 1 and 2 of the instructions are complete. Section 3, as I said, left off the props. We have gone back and fitted the mounting points for the toe shackles and the tie down hooks. Step 4, we've done everything except for the rudders. We'll come back and do them later. Step 5, fitted the trim vane. We'll leave the toe shackles until later, but the suspension shock absorbers and the steering arms have been done. Despite my best efforts, because of the fragility of the steering arms, it did have a very small break, but one of the little connectors came off. I'll show you an image of that. But with the use of some Icky Sticky Medium CA and CA Activator, we managed to fix that up. So again, I'll show you a quick shot of that. And next up will be step 7. We'll leave the prop guards off until later. As I said before, I'm omitting the ECM boxes as they were only fitted in Iraq. So I need to come back and fit the little PE, the keyhole points, which are used on the rear vehicle for raising and lowering the wheel supports arms when you're changing tyres. And then we'll move on to step 8. So again, we'll leave off the prop guards, mount the PE on that side, and we'll do the Pioneer tool rack a little bit later when we do the upper hull. So that's probably about it for today. Leaving the wheels off, we will go on to steps 9 and 10 where we start fitting the commander's cupola and the upper hatches. I'm thinking about leaving the bandsaw off. While it's a great piece of PE, they generally weren't fitted in that position, but I'll think about that. I can always come back and add that later. And then step 10, we've already attached the upper hull to the lower hull, so we'll come back and we'll add the camp hole storage, all the lifting eyes, Pioneer tool rack. I'll leave the tools off and we'll do them later. Mounting bolts, finish up the little hatches. I've still got to work out what I'm going to do with the transparent parts for the driver's periscopes and the commander's cupola, and whether we fit the winch capstan or not. And there's a little bit more PE to be going down the bottom. When we do put the cupola on, there's supposed to be a bulge at the front of it. I'll show you an image of that, so we'll probably come back to that later on when we install that. And there's a few bits here on the mount. It's slightly incorrect and there's a couple of arms that need to be lengthened, but again I'll look at modifying that. Anyway, that's about it for today. So thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget leave a comment if you like. Don't forget, click on subscribe and click on the bell notification so you don't miss out on any videos. Thanks for watching.